You need to travel back to Canon and defeat Lord English.
Why?
You're not coming back. You're not coming back. You're not coming back. Sorry. Chapter 3, it's the last one. Okay. It's a beautiful day in the Carapace Kingdom, just like it was in the Human Kingdom, and just like it was in Salamander Village. For whatever faults this paradise you created might have, you sure don't hear many complaints about the weather. You're sitting with Roxy and Calliope on a giant chessboard-patterned tablecloth. Nice touch, you think. But if you spend any time shopping in the Carapace Kingdom, you'd know most of the things you buy are chess-themed. Friendly Carapacians go about their day around you, passing through the park with their eyes politely averted as they pretend not to notice that 3 celebrities are having lunch in the grass nearby. It's extra polite of them, because you and Roxy are having a very personal conversation. She looked alright, mostly just tired. At least she seemed to have enough energy to babble at length about philosophical gibberish and things about canon and such. LMAO! Guess she filled you in on all the ultimate self-junk then.
The what?
The stuff where she starts knowing everything and feeling bad. Oh, that's not the term she used. She just kept describing it as a condition. You haven't been feeling anything like that, right? What? Getting to know my ultimate self?
Yeah.
Man, I've barely got a hold of my basic self.
Yeah.
She said she was only going... she said she was the only one going through this that she knew of. Poor Rose. At least all that medication seems to be keeping her sort of functional. Roxy gives you a serious sidelong glance. Remember that whole unprovoked spiel Rose gave you about substance abuse? She said it wasn't like that. I mean, she said it was under control. Well, what the heck do I know? The only illicit substance I've ever done is like that stupid trickster lollipop. Never again. Yeah, whatever. Can't say it's much my business anymore. Rose and I aren't as close as we used to be. You nod, sort of knowingly, because you're thinking about how you hadn't talked to Rose in ages either. Roxy gives you a quizzical look, but you turn away before she can draw meaning from it. Miriam's been keeping her real busy since they got hitched. They both vanished down to the brooding caverns, and that was pretty much that. Only since she got sick and spent more time at home did we start talking more again. It's been great, but our conversations have been a little bit upsetting. And here it comes, the thing you were trying to avoid thinking about the moment Roxy texted you, about how you haven't talked to Roxy in ages either. You were having such a nice time ignoring that fact, too. Change the subject. So are you and Callie still living in the same place I last saw? The one near the tower? You look towards the bell tower in the distance. It's a Gothic building so tall that it cuts a shadow through the midday sun. It's an important landmark in the kingdom, the tallest structure for miles around, and the only way you can ever navigate your way here flying. Carapace architecture is otherwise identical, a reflection of their functional collective society. Yep, that's cool. It's a nice place. Yeah, I like it here. I've thought about it, but I'll probably never want to live in a different kingdom. Still feels most at home around the chess guys. Makes sense. That's how I feel about the salamanders, which I realize actually makes no sense. They lead simple lives. I really don't care for the chaos of troll or human cities. Neither do we. You watch Roxy smile and reach for Calliope's hand. Look away before you start dwelling on it. Oh no, John and Roxy. Ouch. John and Roxy continually getting destroyed. Again and again and again. None of my ships will ever be canon. It's okay though, bye. You start dwelling on it immediately, looking probably quite conspicuous with how quickly you whipped your gaze away. But seriously, what is up with their relationship? Is it romantic? Platonic? Can cherubs even have a romantic relationship? Are they even interested in it? Like on a fundamental level? Do their brains and hearts even work that way? Questions like this used to keep you awake at night. You look at them, at where Roxy's fingers are intertwined with Calliope's green claws. Calliope is still wearing the Ring of Life, the same one you obtained in a ludicrous adventure through the afterlife and then re-obtained in a ludicrous adventure through canon when it was stolen from you. It's the same one that allowed Calliope to stop being dead in the first place and come live with your friends here on your beautifully renovated home planet. And it's the same one you gave Roxy all those years ago to fill your promise to make a very special new friend. At the time, the gesture felt so important. It felt more meaningful than any gift you'd ever given. Like there was some grand emotional gravitas about that signified something deeper than what it turned out to be. Oh, John's upset that he got friend-zoned. Friend-zone! Okay. You have since concluded you were just imagining things, ascribing symbolic meaning to gestures that simply didn't carry, like the dumb kid you were. Tactfully avoid saying anything at all about Roxy and Calliope's weird ambiguous relationship. But you can't stop thinking about it. What goes on in Roxy's head, what she thinks about you. You and all your friends have dispositions affected by your classes and aspects. You really think you know what that means in your case, but what about her? You can only speculate. Void is a place where things sink and disappear, where they linger forever but cease to exist. You aren't actually sure if your feelings for Roxy ever really faded, or if they just grew numb with time and distance. Is it the same for her? You search your soul for an answer, but come up empty. The truth is, you suspect her mental interior is unfathomable. In fact, you feel sure of it. You wonder suddenly, watching her, this version of her that is, the one with whom you share all these bittersweet memories. Will you ever see her again? John?
What?
Please forgive me if I come across as impatient, but if we are finished with the pleasantries, I believe you have a choice to make. The choice as to whether you will go defeat my brother or stay here? Have you decided yet?
There's a choice?
Calliope is smiling brightly, but Roxy's face has no expression at all.
I was just assuming I had to go, because if I don't, then a lot of stuff will stop being real. Or, stop being canon. To tell you the truth, I'm a little confused about what will happen if I don't go, but it sounds like it'll probably be bad.
That may be so. We are not here to caution you about the consequences of your decisions either way, but there is always a choice. Roxy and I merely wish to invite you here for a nice human picnic and to show our support for whichever decision you make. CBH, it's a relief to finally be doing this.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
How much have you actually talked about this? How many people knew this was gonna be a thing?
Just us and Rose. Well, Dirk too, I think. She's been talking to me about it a bunch, and him too, but I don't know how much, and he's got, thoughts about all this deep stuff. But whatever, that's not important or even remotely surprising. Bottom line, Rose has been tormenting herself about having to tell you. I'm just glad she finally said it, so she can rest. Now it's up to you. Yes, take all the time you need. Again, we aren't here to influence you. It's very important that the decision come from your desire to go through with it one way or the other. Any tampering could taint the results.
Wait, the what?
So what it'll be, John? A chill runs through you and stays there. Consider the gravitas of this choice. You try, but you can't, because you weren't really prepared for it. You didn't think it was a choice at all until this very second. You think back to the way Rose looked at you before she went to bed. What has she told Roxy that she couldn't tell you? The chill tightens around your throat and turns into fear. No, not fear. The feeling is worse than that. It's regret. You wasted your time here on this idyllic restoration of Earth. Why did you spend so much time alone, moping around the house, mourning your dead father, who probably would have wanted you to get more enjoyment out of your teen years, as well as your unusually early retirement? There's so much you could have done. You could have even reached out to Roxy again. Maybe she was waiting for you to do that. Maybe your withdrawal hurt her. Maybe she was heartbroken just like you feel right now. You study her perfectly stoic face and conclude nothing from it. Her expression reminds you how Dave used to look when you first met for real, before years of living with Carcat softened him up. Impenetrable cool. It's too late to figure any of this out now. You screwed it up already. Unless, of course, you choose to stay. Upon further examination, you realize that Roxy's stoicism isn't cold. There's concern there. She's displaying restraint, keeping quiet while you make up your mind. You're sweating, you realize. Cold sweat, even worse than that anime nightmare sweat you woke up soaked in this morning. John? You okay? Looked like you were gonna pass out there for a second. Suddenly, Calliope bolts upright. Of course, what was I thinking? This decision is far too important to be made on an empty stomach. She fetches the picnic basket, which naturally has been sitting there on the tablecloth since the moment you arrived. Here, before you choose which path you're going to take, you should choose what you'd like to eat. I've packed a wide variety of provisions, easily enough to satisfy even the most ravenous picnic-goer's appetite. Behold, an array of savory delights for the carnally inclined, or perhaps something for your sweet tooth, if lust for treats is what stokes your desire. So she basically has a basket full of meat and candy. Am I thinking this right? Calliope produces 2 dishes from the basket, begins gingerly unwrapping them. The unwrapping is so ginger, in fact, that there's something almost dramatic about it. Like the opening theme of that boring sci-fi movie with the monolith and the bone-throwing monkeys should be playing as she peels away the cheesecloth. Ba, ba, ba-da. On one plate is a pile of meat, rare, almost bleeding cuts from animals you can't identify. The other plate holds a generous heap of colorful, exotic-looking candy. You scoot to the side and peek at the basket to see if there's anything else. There's a book in there, but no more food. That's all there is. Contemplate your lunch. You put your finger on your lips and focus on the food with great intensity. You stop fretting about choices and heartache. You stop fretting about choices and heartbreak and eternity and Lord English. Your entire world narrows to a single point of light as you're utterly consumed by the overbearing decision of which of these absurd meals to have for lunch. Meat or candy. You suck, hussy. You suck. Okay. Meat or candy. The 2 possibilities pinball around your skull. Meat or candy. It's a tough choice. On any other day, you might be inclined to simply follow the whims of your cravings, but no clear victor surges to the forefront of your mind. Either option offers a tempting means of sustenance. You know the meat will be rich and filling, and if you're honest with yourself, you haven't had the most robust diet of late. You didn't even have breakfast. It's probably a good idea to eat something resembling a real meal for once. But you're no stranger to Calliope's taste. As far as carnivorous comestibles are concerned, you know every cut of that plate is rare to the core. It'll fill your mouth bursting with juice. Lie heavy in your stomach for hours to come as your body works to break down the nutritious protein and fat. It might be tough to chew. It might even be tougher to swallow. Maybe the candy is a better choice for a picnic like this. Something that'll go down easy and fill you with bright energy as you pass the time with your friends. You know you need to just let go sometimes and stop worrying so much about what other people expect from you, or even what you expect of you. It's not a bad thing to enjoy yourself just for the sake of pleasure, but eat too much and all that sweetness will make you sick. Roxy and Calliope glance at each other in confusion as you deliberate over what to eat. You suppose it's taking you a while to choose, but each dish is appealing enough in certain ways. Each has potential dietary drawbacks. You don't want to make a decision you can't stomach. Meat or candy, John? Meat or candy? You release your breath when you realize you've been holding it. You're being ridiculous. What's the sense of fussing over lunch? In the end, it really doesn't matter. Whatever you choose, it'll be flushed down the toilet tomorrow. Just go with your gut. Don't sweat over the small stuff. There are more important things out there to screw yourself up over. To be continued. Now, is that a thing that's actually going to happen? Or is this just a, hey, don't fret too much about what happens after the after the credits rolled. You're just being ridiculous. And I understand that. I really do. Which is why I've been trying to, just focus on, maybe writing fan fiction. I've been writing fan fiction about, an AU that I would really like to see. Not so much the canon one. But, oh gosh, this is so good. I'm so happy to, actually be reading this. I've been reading this for over an hour. I'm gonna go and die in a corner. Maybe I'll break this up into several bits. This is just getting ridiculous. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I love the fact that we're actually getting fiction for this. This is great. I'm enjoying this a whole lot. Anyway, I'm gonna go, and I guess I should record some more pony stuff, and then probably eat and then pony stuff. I don't know. Anyway, enough rambling. See you guys for the next thing, whenever that ends up being. Bye! Excuse me, what? I didn't want a choose your own adventure style thing. How long does this go? Oh, hell no.
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Gerald Thomas and Bleed Red. You two sound like music artists from two completely different genres. Pretty neat.